If you've read online that your resort can have an aggressive timeshare pitch and you're worried about it, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Angie. I'm a travel agent that's been to over 200 all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean and Mexico. I share my expertise with you here on YouTube and also one-on-one with my clients. So what is a timeshare? Or nowadays you're going to see it called a membership club or a vacation club. They've kind of changed the wording around it. And the idea here is that you prepay for your stay at a resort. So one of the common setups is that you're going to pre-buy weeks at your desired resort or resort chain. Now that can be a payment of $10,000 to $20,000 depending on the number of weeks you're buying. Most of the all-inclusive resorts do have some type of a membership club like this, and you will be approached during your stay to attend a meeting or presentation about it. Now, two of the ways they kind of trick you into meeting with the membership vacation club people are, number one, a resort tour. When you check in at the front desk, after you complete your check-in, you may be handed off to another person to talk about a resort orientation or a resort tour. Chances are these folks are likely with the membership club. You'll notice a different shirt than the person that checked you in or the bell services people are wearing. Maybe they even have the logo of the membership club name on their shirt. And they're gonna talk to you about an orientation or a resort tour. They just wanna take you around, make sure you get the most of your stay. That should put up a little red flag that you can just ask them straight up, like, do you work for the resort or do you work for the membership club? And then you'll know what you're dealing with. Another way they kind of like trick you into meeting with these folks is by offering resort credits. At some of the resorts, specifically, I'm talking to you, Secret Dreams and Breathless, they have a resort credit they advertise. These are really just coupons towards different things. You may get $40 off candlelight dinner, something like that. And you may need to meet with a member of the membership club in order to access those coupons. So just keep that in mind. I think it's just important to know who you're talking to. If you want to go to the vacation club presentation, awesome, that's great. They're gonna offer you perks to do that. They may offer you an excursion, a catamaran cruise, a candlelight dinner to attend that presentation. I just wanna make sure you have all the money. I just wanna make sure you have all the information. Well, you are gonna need a lot of money. I just wanna make sure you have all the information about what you're getting into. A lot of times they'll say, oh, it's only gonna take an hour, hour and a half. Most people, at least at the resorts I've been to, report it's a 3 to 4.5 hour process. They can increase in intensity and aggressiveness depending on the resort and how close they are to meeting their monthly targets. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you already know you definitely don't want to be approached by the membership club representative, I, as your travel agent, I can let the resort know in advance. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, you can let the people at the front desk know. Again, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. When a membership club person approaches you, you can definitely say definitively, we are not interested. You know, please let your coworkers know we don't want to be approached about this again. Sometimes that'll work, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, if you have clearly told the membership club people to leave you alone and they don't, I think at that time it's appropriate to go to the front desk and ask to speak to the resort manager and let them know that you're being harassed and it's having a negative impact on your experience at the resort. And that's a big problem. I think the general managers deserve to know this. They deserve to know why their resort isn't being reviewed well when people get home. It's because having these aggressive timeshare people leave a bad taste in their mouth. So don't be afraid to contact through the front desk and ask for a manager to talk to about how you're being treated by the membership club people. One trick I use a lot is to just ask for it in writing. Like when they're like, hey, we want to come talk to you about how you can save money. Awesome, can you just email me? Here's my email. And they'll be like, well, no, we really need to meet with you. Well, why can't you just send it to me? Well, we need to talk you through it. I'm like, oh, no, it's good. I'll read it. Yeah, just send it to me. And then they usually leave me alone because there's no way they're gonna email it to you in advance because this entire sales pitch requires pulling on your heartstrings, showing the videos of the suites that you could potentially get as part of this program, telling you about the extra perks you're gonna get. So when it all sounds awesome, then you're like, yes, I want this. Now, speaking of extra perks, you will notice as you're going around the resort not all resorts, but some resorts, where specific areas are cordoned off. Like for instance, at Margaritaville, they had a Prestige lounge. So that was people who are members of the Prestige Vacation Club. They could go to this special lounge. They can also have like special day beds available that are only available for people who are in the vacation club. So you may see some things around the resort like that. That is not a room category you can book. It's not like your travel agent forgot to mention it. It's that it's only available to members of that vacation club. And as with anything, I strongly encourage you, before signing legal documents on your vacation, to send them back home to your lawyer, have them look it over. Always a good idea to take a second look before you commit thousands of dollars and a legally binding contract in a foreign country. You know, just a small thing to keep in mind. But anyway, I hope these tips for you work for you. If you have had experience with the membership club salespeople at these different resorts, I'd love to hear about it, both the pros and the cons. And if you've said anything that has really worked, to let people know you are strongly not interested and don't chat with me again. All right. And then here's some videos YouTube and I thought you might like.